Hello YouTubers, and today I am going to be reviewing the radio-controlled Imperial Guard Dalek. Now, this was exclusive to Woolworths back in, I believe, 2006. And if you don't know what Woolworths is, it was a shop back here in the UK, which closed, I believe, back in 2009. It had a few various exclusive Doctor Who box sets, which were mainly just re-release figures. But this was one of the few exclusives that was completely exclusive to them. And these are very hard to find these days, but anyway, today I'm going to be reviewing it. So, it's your basic radio-controlled Dalek packaging for the new series from 2005, and they used this type of packaging all the way up until 2007. So, you've got a nice big window there showing the Dalek at the top of that, which shows it off nicely. Try me option there. Hasn't got any batteries in at the minute, but we'll soon fix that. Also, a mock-up of the Dalek, a CGI picture, just here as well. And if we just take a look, it says Imperial Guard Dalek, equipped with multiple spectrum sensor arm for security and technical scans. Great. We've also got features motorized Dalek movement, flashing lights and speech, combat mode, posable gun platform, automatic head and eye movement, posable and sensor arm, and illuminating eye. And also, if we take a look up here, we've got the sticker saying that the ears and eye are designed to be detached, which is good because with the original character options radio controlled Dalek release, the eye and the dome lights were not removable. On the top, we've got the same information. On the side, we've got a really nice, again, CGI mock-up of this Dalek, seeing some of its features. I apologise that my voice is a bit croaky. I've got really bad hay fever at the minute, so please forgive me for that. And we've also got some information on the back. If we take a look there, we've got some information that you can read about the Dalek, featuring 8 Dalek sound samples. Well, yes, but they are recorded for this Dalek. It uses a standard Dalek sound chip from this era. You can see that this one is the 27 MHz variety. And we've also got some screen grabs from the episode Parting of the Ways, including the Emperor. And then we've got a nice little blueprint of the Dalek, and it looks really nice. And it also gives a little bit of information. If we take a look at the other side, it's the same information again. Just to quickly mention that you've got a picture of the Emperor at the back as the backdrop rather than the regular one, so that's nice that they've incorporated that, and you can see some of the other Imperial Dalek guards. But anyway, back to what I was saying before, let's take a look at the actual Dalek. Okay, so here he is, looking really nice. Now, interestingly, they've given him a sort of chocolate brown finish, kind of like the San Diego Comic-Con Assault Dalek, which is interesting because it's much darker than that, and it isn't the typical bronze. Now, this Dalek in Parting of the Ways wasn't an actual Dalek, it was just a CGI Dalek, so really they're just going with something, and it is just another variation. But anyway, let's take a look at him. It uses the standard Dalek sculpt, which character used from 2005 to 2007, and then continued using whenever they would re-release a bronze Dalek, aka last year in 2017. So this Dalek sculpt has gotten around quite a bit. We've got the dome, which is a matte black finish, if we just take a look at that. So taking a close look at the dome, takes in the matte black finish, you've got all the panels and that going around, but as you can see, we do not have the indentation panels on the back. That was not incorporated until the Supreme Dalek in 2008, or if you want to go to the 18-inch range, then that was late 2007. We've got the dome lights, which are really nicely well detailed. You've got all the little grooves and that going down there, and they've also painted it silver around the brim, which they haven't done on the 5-inch range. they have painted this section, the bolts and rivets here, silver, and as you can see, they've given it a unique Dalek ID, which is really good. I don't think it actually had a unique ID, and that it might have just remained black. I don't know, because it's hard to tell, because it was never, it was always in either in the background or it was just off to the side, so we never got a fully good look at it, probably because, again, it was a CGI model. The eye stalk is exactly the same as any other character options 12-inch radio controlled Dalek, so nothing really much there. It is pretty accurate. You can see you've got the 5 rings there, which do make it very accurate, and it's got a matte finish at the end. Now, the original character options Daleks from 2005 to 2007 had matte eyes, whereas in later years they painted it glossy, which is good, because I believe it should be more of a gloss. It's hard to tell, again, because it's not an actual physical Dalek, so they're just going with what they had. You can see here the mesh in the neck bings here, which is all nice and highly detailed, which all looks absolutely lovely. You can see, again, you've got the bolts and the rivets here, but they are not painted silver here, unfortunately. They've just been left the sort of dark chocolate colour that this Dalek is. If we move down to the slats just here, you can see that they do really stand out against the main colour of this Dalek, being a sort of bright gold colour, with this time the bolts and rivets and that being painted silver. Odd that they painted them silver here, but not here. It's a bit of an oddity, I'm not really sure why, but hey, I'll take what I can get with this. Now, obviously, this is pretty accurate as well to the Dalek, and that it's basically the top half of the Dalek is fairly good in proportions. The neck bins here and the mesh and that should be a bit wider, a bit more spaced apart. It seems to be slightly clumped together, but it isn't too bad. And the middle section, maybe a slightly bit too wide, a slightly bit too chunky here and there, but again, not too bad. Now, if we take a look at the armaments, we've got the gun, which is just your standard Dalek gun. Now, this gun it's too thick. It's too thick and it's a bit too big, but it does look exactly like the actual guns, so I'll give it a pass on that. And it does have the little rivets at the end. And also, I'm glad they, unlike Product Enterprise, they made it of a rubbery plastic, so that it doesn't snap. Now, this was bent when I got this. I bought this used, but generally they're always bent, these sections here. But if you want to fix that, just stick it in some boiling water or heat it up a bit to straighten them out. You can see they've painted these bits gold, and again they've done the rivets silver, so I'm not sure why they didn't do it here. Bit of a mystery, but here is the main thing that differentiates this Dalek from all the others: the sensor arm. So let's just have a look at that sensor arm. It looks absolutely fantastic. Now, you can see there it's got a long metal rod with a sort of ball on the end. It kind of reminds me of some of the armaments and that the 60s characters would use. For example, the Perceptor, or even it bears some resemblance to a flamethrower as well. But yeah, it is a very nice, very interesting thing. The end of it is a clear plastic, and it sort of has a ridge in it as well, with a sort of bit sticking out. We never see this in use, so I imagine this would probably light up. If it was an actual Dalek in the episode, I imagine it will light up or do something. But at the moment, it's obviously left to our imaginations. And we've got other bits in there. It sort of kind of looks like a bit like Platform 1. Or, I'm trying to think of what else does it look like. It looks a bit like also the beacon from Season 12. Tom Baker's first. Yeah, it kind of looks a bit like that in the middle. But it is very nice. If we take a look at the base and that, it's generally the same. And this is where the problems affair with these types of Daleks. The base is far, far, far too wide. It's far too chunky as well, and how steep it is completely wrong. And also, The thing that I've never understood why character did this, the base is green, and also these sections that go around the hemispheres are also green. I've never understood why they did that. There's no real reason why they should do that. I mean, either do it grey or do it black, but why green? I mean, it just looks out of place with the rest of the Dalek when comparing it. I mean, if you look at the top section, that looks fine, but then when you compare it to the base, it just looks a bit off. It's not ridiculously bad. I mean, we're not talking Dapel levels of bad here, but it is what it is, I guess. And it is a nice enough Dalek, and the only time we've ever seen this Dalek have a release again is in the 3 3/4 inch range. So yeah, this thing is, you know, we had technically 2 releases of this type of Dalek, and one of them is this, and ironically the 3 3/4 inch one is technically more accurate, because, you know, we all hate the 3 3/4 inch range, but the Daleks were very accurate. In fact, the only things I found wrong with the 3 3/4 inch Daleks were the number of discs around the eye was reduced to 4 rather than 6, so reasons, and also none of them seem to have the ID underneath as well, but that was probably due to space, so yeah, it's just a shame. Now let's get into these Dalek phrases. Now, just bearing in mind, this does not have its own sound chip. It just uses a standard Dalek sound chip, so let's just cycle through them, shall we? Okay then, so let's hear the sound effects now. I've just put some batteries in him, and there's a switch on the bottom where you have him in the box. He's in try-me mode, so let's just hear what his speech is, and he takes 4 AA batteries, and the remote takes a 9-volt battery. Now, if you were to buy this brand new, if you travel back in time to 2006, the Dalek would have 4 AA batteries already installed in him because of its try-me mode. However, you would have to buy a 9-volt battery for the remote, although I would recommend buying the batteries separately anyway, because they would probably be dead. So let me know how you're getting on with that time machine, shall we? But anyway, let's hear his speech through the try-me option now. You will be exterminated. So as you can hear, it uses a standard Dalek sound chip from the time. Now, back in 2005 and 2006, there was 2 different Dalek sound chips. Now, generally the gold Daleks, or the standard bronze ones, would use generally a higher pitch sound chip. Now, if you live in the US, you would have got this one, which has a lower sound chip and also has an extra phrase. But anyway, let's go through them anyway. Multiple spectrum scanning now engaged. We are the supreme beings. Seek, locate, annihilate. You are an enemy of the Daleks. Obey the Daleks. No other warning will be given. Exterminate. So there we go, there's the 8 phrases for this Dalek. Now, does it sound like Nicholas Briggs? Generally, yeah. I don't really know who actually did the voice in that. I've tried to research and haven't found anything. If you know who did the voice for this Dalek, then please let me know. I'd be very interested in hearing actually who did the voice for this Dalek. I doubt it was Nicholas Briggs, probably because he was busy off doing Big Finish and also the Doctor Who series. He's a very busy man, isn't he? But regardless, if we switch the Dalek into on, you can see the eye will be steady illuminated. And just to have a look at that eye, it does look nice and bright, nice and blue, and that, so it does shine very brightly, and it is a steady pulse. You can also see the little ridges around the eye as well, so that all looks nice, well and good. Now, as I said, it is radio controlled. Unfortunately, I do not have a 9-volt battery to hand that isn't dead, so unfortunately I can't show you that at the minute. However, it moves around just like any other Dalek. I've done countless reviews on different radio-controlled Daleks. They all move around exactly the same, forwards, backwards, spinning around. So it's your standard radio-controlled toy, and also the remote had the different phrases as well. So that's that. So overall, let's get on to my conclusion of this Dalek, shall we? So overall, what do I think of this Dalek? Well, I do absolutely love it, and it's nice to have a variation. I'm so sick of them re-releasing the same Daleks that over and over again. That were just basically the same thing. I mean, Dalek Sec was just a repaint and that. But at the time, this was nice to have sort of a different kind of variant. I didn't get it at the time. I didn't even know about it. Now, around about the same time this one was released, Toys R Us got the Assault radio-controlled Dalek, which is nearly the same as this, except the dome is obviously this chocolate colour for some reason, and it comes with the Assault Dalek's armament. But yeah, it was nice to have a couple of variations like that. And it's just a shame we're not getting stuff like this anymore. It is such a shame. I mean, it wasn't until 2017 that we finally got another radio-controlled Dalek. It was just a standard bronze one re-releasing. I was overexcited for that. And will we get another one this year? I don't know. Hopefully, but it's hard to tell. Maybe with Series 11 and that, maybe if we do get a new variation of Dalek, or the Supreme Dalek makes an appearance or something, maybe we might get a re-release of that. But the thing is, it is just re-releases over and over and over again. I would love to have a new radio-controlled Dalek, because we haven't had a new variation of a radio-controlled Dalek since the Paradigms. They were essentially the last new Daleks to be released that were actually different, because otherwise all we've had is either repaints or directly repackaged Daleks. So it would be nice to get something different for a change. But overall, those are my final thoughts on this Dalek. If you would like to get one, then go searching on eBay. I have seen them on there, and they do tend to be fairly pricey for these. So, just keep looking, and if you do want one, go and find one. It is a worthy variation, unlike a lot of those radio-controlled Daleks, because you're getting a Dalek that has a black dome and a completely unique armament. So, it is different in that sense. And if you do get one, it's definitely a Dalek that will stand out in your collection, and that it will be nice if Character Options had maybe re-released this in the 18-inch range, which wouldn't have been that hard to do, to be honest. All they would have to do is paint the dome of an 18-inch one black, and they already have the ID in that, so they just have to enlarge it, and they've got this sculpt, so they just have to apply it to the 18-inch range. So it would have been nice if we did get an 18-inch variant, but I digress. It's a nice enough Dalek, and I do recommend that you do go and get one if you can find them. But anyway, that's it for this review, and I'll see you in whatever the hell I'm reviewing next. Tatty bye.